Why do customers always choose the other side, even when you do better, care more, and charge less? Is it because you're unlucky, or are you using the wrong approach? You're stepping into a battle where the opponent might be stronger, richer, and have more people. But what if I told you you can still win with just one sentence said at the right time, in the right way? This video reveals a counterintuitive pitching strategy. Instead of avoiding your weakness, you acknowledge it. Instead of being defensive, you go on the offensive. And that's exactly what makes the customer choose you. This isn't a trick, it's a strategy, turning doubt into an advantage, turning weakness into your trump card. Can admitting your weakness help you close $1 million deal? The answer will surprise you, and it all starts with the 8-mile principle. Part 1. Core concept, the 8-mile principle. In any pitch, negotiation, or psychological game, the person who controls the listener's mindset holds the power. Not by boasting or proving superiority, but by reading their thoughts before they speak. That skill is the key to control. Proactively naming what they'll likely doubt. Whoever is a step behind will always play catch-up, but doesn't revealing weakness make you look weak? On the contrary, it's the strongest way to shape the game. Many believe that highlighting weaknesses will cost them points. That fear-based thinking is flawed. When you point out your own flaws first, they lose their power. No one can attack what you've already acknowledged. Even better, you display courage and honesty, two qualities every client values. Can anyone be won over by defensiveness or pretension? Absolutely not. People trust those who are self-aware, not those hiding behind a facade. It's like stepping into a boxing ring. If you let your opponent strike first, all you can do is defend. But if you strike first, you lead. In business dialogue, this isn't just strategy, it's boldness. When you speak what the other person is thinking, you stop their doubts in their tracks. I know what you're thinking, and here's why I'm still the right choice. At that point, you're not being judged, you're guiding the decision. Part 2, the underdog advantage, turning weakness into strength. Who says smaller means weaker? Who decided only big companies are trustworthy? That thinking belonged to the era of mass production. In the age of personalization, winners turn small scale into focused quality. A lesser-known choice isn't inferior, it's a strategic difference. What truly stops customers from choosing you? Fear of risk. That fear must be surfaced and dismantled. Imagine you're the lesser-known player in the room, facing a high-profile competitor. Intimidation sets in fast. But if you speak first, I may not be the safe choice, but I'm the right one. You've just done what few dare, exposed the truth and reframed it. Some may call this self-deprecation. It's not. It's a declaration of inner conviction. I don't hide behind reputation. I prove my own value. Boldness isn't about shouting. It's about facing what others avoid. When you tackle your buyer's psychological barrier head-on, you disarm their defenses. Some say, won't customers think I'm reckless? Wrong. They'll see you as supremely confident and self-aware. You don't bluff or boast, you offer grounded choices. That's how weakness becomes a catapult. Personalization isn't always valued, especially by clients who crave stability. But if you offer what they're used to, you become a shadow of those before you. Instead, ask, do you want to be treated like a typical client or the only client? That question opens space for differentiation. When clients compare for themselves, you don't need to discredit others. They'll see the difference on their own. Part 3. Elite strategy from a true guide. One of the smartest tactics is not resisting the customer's choice, but aligning with it gracefully. You don't need to say they're wrong. Just say, I understand why they'd choose that. It diffuses resistance. Is that surrender? No, it's strategic yielding. You don't win by overpowering. You lead them gently toward a better choice, subtly, without force. If your competitor is popular with clients, should you attack them? Never. That only damages your credibility. Instead, praise them, then elevate yourself. I admire their approach, but I'd like to add this angle. This creates contrast, not conflict. Some fear being too soft will make them forgettable, but subtlety is stronger than noise. True leaders set the rhythm. The advantage of experience isn't age, it's repetition. When you've failed enough, you spot nuances others miss. But clients don't see that until you reveal it. They don't value experience unless you show them the risks it protects against. Some say, Don't raise fears if the client hasn't mentioned any. Wrong. Addressing hidden concerns is the surest way to shift decision criteria. So how do you make a risk feel real? Not by scaring, but through story and logic. You may feel prepared, but what if a vague regulation trips you up? That question doesn't need an answer. It triggers unease. Some fear this sounds negative, but it's not fear-mongering. It's a gentle warning from someone who knows the terrain. Here's where seasoned teams shine. Not just solving problems, but preventing them. Ask, if things go wrong, who do you want by your side? Don't answer. Let silence do the work. They'll visualize. Maybe they'll say, I think we'll be fine. But in that moment, you've planted a possibility they hadn't considered before. The knockout punch isn't an attack. It's flipping their confidence in the competitor into your edge. Yes, she's brilliant. She used to be my student. A quiet statement with massive impact. Some say invoking the past is outdated. Not true. The past proves credibility. When you stand on a legacy, you don't need to shout. Just remind them, you once mentored the person they now trust. Part 4. Strategic comparison, intelligence, and psychology. When two strategies aim for the same goal, convincing a buyer, the difference lies not in how they speak, but in how they understand the buyer's mind. One taps into emotion and personalization, the other leans on logic, experience, and social proof. Which is stronger? Many would say emotion is the ultimate weapon. But think again. Emotion without credibility becomes a gamble. Logic without connection becomes dry doctrine. Mastery lies in the balance. Emotion-based strategies target the desire for recognition and personal care. But focusing only on personalization creates risk. The buyer may fear you lack structure. I feel prioritized is comforting, but I feel protected is what gets deals signed. You may think you understand the client, but without demonstrating safeguards, every promise floats. Emotion gets them to the door, reason keeps them there. On the other hand, experience-based strategies feel secure. But is security enough to inspire commitment? Often, clients pick the safe bet without real trust. They accept, but don't connect. Overemphasizing stability without sparking imagination loses depth. Decision makers don't rely solely on feature comparisons. They move on instinct when it's awakened. So which strategy wins? The one that recognizes its own strengths, anticipates the competitors, and dares to step into the overlap. Don't avoid comparisons, redefine them. They have a system, but that system was built by people like me. That line doesn't diminish others. It elevates you by linking past and present. Don't shine only in your own light. Illuminate the competition to reveal your true edge. Part 5. Customer psychology during a pitch. Customers don't decide purely on logic. They decide based on emotion, then justify it with logic afterward. Those who believe numbers, evidence, and process alone can persuade are forgetting this. Buyers are human, not machines. They seek certainty, but also want to feel special. Don't assume providing all the facts is enough. What gets a yes is what you evoke, not what you prove. A major sales myth is that value is absolute. In truth, value is relative. It only exists when it matches the client's fears and expectations in that moment. You could offer the best solution on the market, but if it doesn't speak to their current mindset, it becomes irrelevant. They'll figure it out is a dangerous assumption. Don't wait. Lead them to clarity by articulating what they haven't yet admitted. Clients rarely voice their real fears. They hide them behind logical-sounding questions like, do you have enough resources? Or what's your warranty policy? These seem like due diligence, but underneath lies a need for security. If you answer only at surface level, you miss the trust-building gateway. You might think, I answered everything, they should trust me. But trust isn't built on facts, it's built on reading between the lines. To win a customer's trust, do this. Say out loud what they're thinking, but haven't yet expressed. That's when their defenses drop, and they truly listen. Some might ask, but what if I guess wrong? Better to be wrong than silent. Wrong can be corrected. Avoiding it loses the moment. Ask questions, share examples, float assumptions. That's how you unlock their mind. You're not just selling a solution, you're leading them to a decision they feel they own. Part 6. Field application. Practical tactics. Technique stays theoretical unless you turn it into instinct. Before each client meeting, don't just print the company profile. Print a list. What might this client be thinking, especially the negative ones? Someone might say, bringing those things up is like accusing myself. But the truth is, they're already thinking it. The more you avoid it, the bigger it grows. The best way to diffuse pressure is to spotlight it before it sabotages the deal. An incredibly effective tactic is writing opening lines that strike the subconscious. I know you're weighing safety against fit. Or, if I were in your shoes, I'd wonder the same thing. These aren't flattery, they're emotional keys. Some claim this is just pandering. It's not. Flattery says what the client wants to hear. This says what they haven't said yet. That's the difference between a salesperson and a guide. Don't wait to be asked. Prepare for questions you hope never come. Your team is small. Can you handle this volume? If you've never prepared for this, you're underestimating your buyer's insight. You might think, that question rarely comes up, but rare moments can end a deal instantly. The best pitcher isn't the one with fast answers. It's the one who raises the issue before anyone else does. Finally, remember, application doesn't live in your slide deck. It lives in how you show up, speak, and ask. You may bring the sleekest proposal, but if your eyes dodge when discussing weakness, the client will notice. They don't need perfection. They need clarity, certainty, and leadership. Some still believe selling is about persuasion. That's only half the story. The other half, the more powerful one, is guiding the customer to persuade themselves. Part 7. Common mistakes in application. One of the most common mistakes in using the technique of saying what the client is thinking is turning it into a confession. I know we don't have many years of experience, followed by hesitation. What seems like honesty ends up reinforcing their doubts. If you can't flip a weakness into a value, don't mention it. Many confuse honesty with listing every flaw. That's incorrect. Honesty isn't self-pity. Honesty is knowing what to reveal and what to control so others can see it clearly. The second mistake is making wrong assumptions about the client's psychology. I'm guessing you're worried about the cost when that wasn't on their mind at all. This doesn't build connection. It makes you sound biased or imposing. Some believe that speaking first always scores points. It only works if you hit the right nerve. To do that, you must observe, ask questions, and truly listen beforehand. Don't turn technique into formula. Make it an art of sensitivity. Finally, the biggest mistake is thinking that one moment of saying it first is enough. Customer psychology is fluid, not fixed. New concerns constantly arise throughout the negotiation. Someone might say, I addressed everything. Why are they still unsure? Because you handled the past, but they're still unclear about the future. A sharp salesperson doesn't just resolve current doubts, they anticipate what's coming. You don't speak to silence doubts, you speak to open certainty. Part 8. Mastering the game. In every pitch, no one wins by speaking more eloquently or presenting prettier slides. The winner is the one who helps the client feel clearer about themselves, their needs, and their unspoken fears. Some will argue, a great product is enough. But products don't speak for themselves, and quality doesn't automatically convince. Every value must be framed in the right psychological context to shine. The one who guides the buyer's mind controls the deal's outcome. The technique of saying what the client is thinking isn't a trick. It's the result of empathy and courage. You enter the gray zone, where nothing is certain, where one word could stall the deal, to redirect the emotional energy in the room. Some call this risky, but there's no bigger risk than losing the client's trust without knowing why. The greatest danger is surrendering your ability to lead the buyer's thoughts. The game of selling doesn't revolve around pricing sheets, 4P models, or promotional gimmicks. It revolves around your ability to understand the person in front of you before they understand themselves. When you master that, every other tool becomes a catalyst. And if you're still waiting for the client to decide, you've already stepped back. Some say, I don't want to impose. No one asked you to impose. But if you don't lead, someone else will, and you'll lose control. The game belongs to those who dare to take the reins. Conclusion. Don't fool yourself into thinking clients choose you because you're better. They choose you because you make them feel safer betting on themselves. Sounds irrational? It's a brutal truth. You're not selling a product, you're selling certainty in their moment of doubt. And if you shy away from the dark corners of their mind, you've lost the moment you open your mouth. Some say, being honest is enough. No. In a cutthroat market, honesty without precision is just naive prey. Want to win? Become the mirror that reflects their fear and then lead them through it. Thank you for watching the whole video. Please like and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss the next videos.